trunks a little high, and this is going to be good for me here, okay? You got your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to protect yourself at all times and obey my commands at all times. Touch them up, back to your corner.
While for Rances Barthelemy, he is trained by Clarence Bone Adams, a former super bantamweight champion. Round one begins, scheduled for 10 at 140, the southpaw Martin.
You see Frank's at his best against a righty when he's able to kind of step to the outside, use that jab, and shoot that left hand to the body as he came out doing in these first few seconds.
Slick movers, calculated attackers, and defensive specialists are the common MOs of the Cuban fighter.
And I think for as much as Rances at times in his career we've wanted to see more from him in fights, as he's aging, he's had to show more. He's had to let his hands go, and I certainly think Frank Martin will make him tonight.
Barthelemy's really only shot the jab so far, and Frank Martin's got that great high guard. Barthelemy's going to have to start looking to the body. You see Barthelemy try to turn on that with Frank Martin there, but he's just a touch behind, especially at 39 years old.
Barthelemy on the attack. He actually was a champ at 130, 135, never lost the titles. He vacated both times to move up in weight. He's been at 140 since 2016.
No question about it right there. But speaking of weight, while Martin gives left hand for Martin, while he gives no excuses for the loss to Tank Davis.
He ended on his feet and took umbrage with the referee's decision that night. A minute left here in the second round. Couple of southpaws going at it. Martin looking for the angle.
He's working his way in against that taller fighter there, and he's slipping under that right hand, chopping down.
Oh, he gets chopped. Off balance.
I thought you were going to drop an OPP reference there.
Are you down with OPP?
Well, what colors are Barthelemy's trunks tonight? I'm blinded by the flash there.
Some fancy footwork here on the part of the slick technician, Frank Martin. Continues to turn. And there's a lead left hand. Popped him in the face with that left.
And he's going to have to shoot that left hook a little bit lower, especially with Frank ducking down and spinning to the right.
And this is, unfortunately, more of a round that we've seen under a minute left in round three.
And Martin's a heck of an athlete. He played running back in high school in the football team. He wrestled in the state championship as a junior at 152 pounds. And he's the first cousin of NFL linebacker and former Cowboys draft pick Jalen Smith.
Hindering that. Little cat and mouse game going on. 15 seconds left in the third. A great round for Frank the Ghost Martin. Yeah, you know Joe Goosen, don't you there?
I know him halfway well.
Under a minute left in the fourth. Oh,
yeah.
Great left hand, and down goes Barthelemy. The fourth knockdown of his career. And the last time was against the left-handed Gary Russell. Martin showing his power at 140, dropping Barthelemy here in the fourth. Looking to close the show.
That's what I was going to say, and the Ghost backs him up with big power shots.
Frank led him right in that shot through that right hook, came right behind it with the left hand, and caught Barthelemy right on the side of the head. Barthelemy's legs still look there, but he's a step behind Frank Martin at all times.
So Frank Martin breaking through in the fourth. And there it is! Mamma mia! One hitter!
Wow.
Quitter! Are you kidding me? The Ghost just scared a bunch of 140-pounders with that knockout of the year candidate. Fight really
This one's
matters.
right down the chute. Got his whole body into it, landed it clean, got that angle, and good night. And that looks like Barthelemy sitting up on a stool right now, but what a great shot right there. You see him pull that right hand down, and then boom, straight down the shot. What a perfect angle, perfect picture, perfect left hand.
Southpaw shot from Frank the Ghost Martin. That man is scary.
you pulled that right hand down on Barthelemy, created that perfect space for it, and once again a picture perfect left hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes 56 seconds of the fourth round. For your winner by knockout, Frank the Ghost Martin.
Ray Flores, the legendary Joe Goosen, Jordan Plant here in Los Angeles. And we are underway. Frank Martin is southpaw, conventional is Jerry Perez.
Frank Martin, showed me something right there. He, when Perez jumped in, he stepped back and fired a nice counter right into the belly with that left hand.
Well, both men have similar records, and they are in terms of having parallels to this fight. Frank Martin sparred with Gervonta Davis to prepare for Leo Santa Cruz.
But again, what it goes to show you what the two great champions thought of each of these guys. You know, so they wanted them to emulate other champions.
Lightweights who are hoping to stamp their mark and head up the rankings into the top 15, top 10. There's a left hook and a counter for Frank Martin. Meantime, Jerry Perez led by Jose Santa Cruz, but the chief second in the corner, as you heard from Jordan's report, is the brother of Leo Santa Cruz, Antonio Santa Cruz.
Not necessarily against Jerry Perez, but just his own behavior. It's like he just feels very confident in what he's doing, that he knows exactly what he wants to do. I mean, he's just in control of his body and your body, just right off the bat.
There's a nice straight left there by Frank Martin as we are over the midway point of the second. A shot to the body by Martin. We asked Frank Martin what he was trying to do, and he kept things very close to the vest and not giving us too much information. I understand why. I mean, some guys will give you what their game plans are, others will sort of keep things hidden.
What's the game plan? I mean, the game plan is what he does normally. You watch his tapes, you go, oh, I know what he's going to do, okay? And unless he decides to just reconfigure his whole philosophy of boxing style.
Very true.
So you know what you're going to get when you fight Frank Martin, because if you look at his tapes and break it down simply, he repeats himself. But again, try to deal with that repetition. It's not easy because he's really good at what he repeats, and that's a lot of jabbing and a lot of straight left hands. He tries to get off to your left side, and occasionally like that.
Nice right hook
see that
on the inside. It was brilliant.
It was maybe like 3 inches right there. He'll try to get over to his opponent's left side and drop that hand like that. See, like he tried to get over to that side there and drop the left hand. Occasionally he'll move the other direction, make you miss a punch, and then counter with the left hand. So he's really good at the few things he does.
He's very fast as well, Joe. I mean, the quickness is evident.
Well, look, I mean, to me right now, Jerry Perez has got some catching up to do. You see, he likes to go to your left like that, sneak in a left hand. He'll put it in the body a few times, get you thinking body, then bring it up top. But every so often, he'll step over to your right. Now, these are tough guys to deal with. I've trained them before, and I fought against them before, and you'd rather train them than fight them.
No question.
Yeah.
Well, because stylistically, they're a nightmare. Yeah, I was going to say, I've never heard of anyone that says, I enjoy fighting a southpaw.
No, I have. Because some guys go, oh, I love them. I got their number.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you surprised that Jerry Perez isn't trying to force the issue more?
Well, it doesn't matter if he does. That's what happens. Look, and I'm talking about Frank Martin. He's just really, he doesn't have to be running around to do tricky stuff, Frank Martin. He can do it in half steps.
Well, he uses his distance just so well, and now Jerry Perez charging towards him as he unloads upon the body of Martin. They're both jostling for position.
If you want to deal with somebody like Frank Martin and not just get picked apart all night, you have to get rough, you have to get a little unorthodox, do things like that. And again, the old saying goes, the closer you get to a southpaw, the less they're like southpaws.
True.
When they got the distance on you is when you can really get hurt like that.
There's a nice left uppercut that snapped back the head of Jerry Perez.
Followed by a right hook by Martin. So, there it is again. And then Martin threw the left uppercut, right hook, and then went right back down, 2 shots to the body. See, what I would have seen him done on that, here's that left uppercut up the middle, and that short right hook, and he'll go back to the body. He's a combination puncher once he starts getting that momentum.
And Frank Martin going right after Jerry Perez. And
physically, Martin is really manhandling Perez right now.
Well, there's a nice counter straight left by Martin as he tags Jerry Perez.
Smiling now. Let's see what happens.
We're on to the 4th round. Ray Flores, the legendary Joe Goosen, and Jordan Plant here in Los Angeles for this, our main event on FS1. Great to be with all of you. PBC pay-per-view, cheaper than your customary pay-per-view, so join us for a tremendous night of boxing on May 1 as we begin the Cinco de Mayo holiday. On to round 4, and a nice counter left by Frank Martin.
Yeah, Frank Martin just beat Perez to the punch right there. He's really, again, he's a beat ahead of Perez. Martin into a little bit of a combination slugfest where he landed that little left hook Perez did in that last round.
Exchange, yes.
He's going to have to do that because he's a strong guy, so he can hurt you.
Do you think that Perez should be stepping with him with the jab to try to disrupt the rhythm of Frank Martin? Because Martin, since the first round, has been into a flow and a pace that favors him.
Well, again, you know, when you're normally the jab for a right-hander comes to your right hand. The jab here from Martin is going into the right-hander's left hand. It's not the hand that you normally parry with, you know what I'm saying? You parry a jab with your right hand. So they've got the advantage over you on that. That's where it's
mentally exhausting.
Well, not just that. It's how they measure you, and they land those great left hands off you by touching that jab while yours is dormant. It's jab against jab, which is different than two right-handers.
Absolutely. Well, it's under a minute to go here in the fourth round between Frank Martin and Jerry Perez. And now Perez going to the body, and now he unloads with the left hook upstairs, catching Frank Martin. Now he's closing the distance here. Martin ties up.
A real good left hooker. So if he continues to do that, he's got to have that right hand up next to his ear when he throws that left uppercut. I'm talking about Martin. So you got to hit with it again.
Shot by Jerry Perez, a left hook. As we're on to the fifth round, it could be a sign that maybe Jerry Perez is starting to figure out Frank Martin.
And remember, it's a 12-round fight. We're only in the fifth, right?
10 rounds. So 10-round fight. 10-round fight, yes.
What happened in the 12 rounds?
Round number 6, this one is scheduled for 10 between Frank Martin and Jerry Perez. Joe, I know that you and I are not scoring the fight, but from your standpoint, who do you think has the advantage?
You know, one of the key factors in scoring is ring generalship. Who's the general in there? Who's dictating how this pace is going to go? And right now it's Frank Martin.
Well, a key to Martin's success has been his body attack. He's landed at least 6 body shots per round. Perez has landed 8 body shots total in the first half of the fight. Can you believe that this is our 6th fight? We've been on the air since 8 Eastern. For those of you that have been with us, we thank you so much. We're having a blast, enjoying ourselves, and we hope you've been enjoying this weeknight edition of PBC on FS1. Thus far, I would have to say from my vantage point, Frank Martin has been the more accurate in the ring general in there.
And I told you, that's a sneaky right jab. It comes right from upstairs. He doesn't really show it to you. He keeps it up there, and it pops right out from there, and it gets there so quickly. Yeah, that jab has really just dominated this round. I mean, Frank Martin doesn't have to do much more than just land that jab. It's solid. It's like getting hit. Oh!
Oh, down it goes, Perez! Oh, my goodness!
4,
wow.
5.
That's what the jab does. Sets that up.
7.
Wow.
8, 9. Walk toward me. Walk toward me.
How he got to his feet, I do not know.
That jab fell short, 2. And it comes right around that low hand. See, Frank Perez Jerry Perez tried to reach out to stop the left hand, and it came right around. Yeah, he woke up at the last second. He was
out on his back. Frank Martin looking for the finish. He's won 3 straight fights by knockout. Can he make it 4? He's got Jerry Perez in a world of trouble. Frank Martin swarming Jerry Perez, and down he goes, but no knockdown.
10 seconds.
It's going to be hard to do it this round. There's only 5 seconds left right now.
Martin on top of Jerry Perez. Perez in a heap of trouble. He's unloading, and this one is over. And this fight is over. Frank Martin has stopped Jerry Perez to remain undefeated. That's 4 straight wins for Frank Martin. Wow.
Wow.
End could be near, and he finished off Jerry Perez to remain undefeated.
Yeah, I got no problem with Jerry Cantu stopping that fight right there, because it would have been really bad next round. He was out of it, and he was getting hit with hard shots right there. So, and he knocked him out. He toyed with them most of the fight.
And Joe, right now we're going to take a listen to the knockdown that Frank Martin had over Jerry Perez.
slow it down and get out, right? Coming up 7, walking down behind the Zell. See what the angle is. Because you keep on the show, you get on.
No puedes hacer uno nomás. Uno nomás no va a hacer nada. Vamos, me tiene que tirar golpes, papá. Llévalo para atrás, llévalo para atrás, vamos. ¡Vamos! ¡Al pecho! ¡Siga tocándolo! Cuando él se lance ahí, hombre, métase la de
Open him up. If he's reaching, too slow. As long as you stand right there, try to get him. Remember, we knocked him out on this side.
Despiértate, despabilate con esto, vamos.
Do not get comfortable. Do not get comfortable. Rest with the jab. No, get that right hand up. hit him, start shooting the feints at him. The movement. Boom.
Let's go, guys. Let's go, guys. Adelante, Michel. Hombre, recuerde, es el golpe cuando él se tire. Vamos, vamos, llégale, llégale. Arriba para abajo, no dejes que te lleve a ti para atrás, coño. Vamos. Preciso, preciso. Termina tú con gancho, vamos. Con ganas de ganar, vamos. Termina con el swing. No le dejes la panza, bloquea y tira, tira ahí, tira ahí. Ahí, tira ahí. Vamos, chiquito, chiquito la volado. Chiquito la volado, chiquito la volado, gancho. Chiquito, vamos. Aquí.
The winner of this WBA lightweight world title eliminator and still undefeated, Frank the Ghost Martin.
All right. Belt line over here on both sides. We're going to go midway in the belt line, gentlemen, all right? You got my instructions in the back. Protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands. Touch them up. Back to your corner, gentlemen.
Visa issues, so in fact, Harutyunyan's brother, Robert, will be his chief second tonight. Round one scheduled for 12.
Yeah, Martin definitely so accurate, you know, so accurate that... but again, I'm waiting for Harutyunyan, I'm sorry. Ooh, beautiful
right hand from Harutyunyan.
Harutyunyan again, on him.
And there's a right hand to the body by Harutyunyan. Martin inspired by the likes of Meldrick Taylor, who of course had blazing hand speed, Pernell Whitaker. Body shot by Harutyunyan. Martin was moving to his right, and Martin now goes to the body.
He thinks that's going to set up the left hand. He's looking for the counter left hand right now. It's Harutyunyan throws some of those wide looping rights.
There's a nice sniper left, and then that pull counter left hand by Martin that bothered Harutyunyan, but Harutyunyan continues to march forward.
As you do that, and that's what they want, you know.
There's counter from Martin, combination. Martin going to the body, digging with those shots to the midsection of Harutyunyan.
Round in the last round, and Frank Martin got some work done. You know, he landing on the inside. There's the right hook to the body. Frank Martin has found a home for that punch in this fight, and that was early in the round.
He won't be as good as a fighter going backwards, but again, Martin is such a precise fighter, a guy that is just waiting to counterpunch, and we can see it. You can tell he's just waiting to counter him, but it's time to really take control of the fight, speaking of Martin.
Straight right hand from Harutyunyan. Martin comes back with the left. There's a fast jab.
Martin, he's known to use the angles, sidesteps. I want to see a lot more of that.
Yeah, we haven't seen many angles here tonight, but a good combination punctuated by the left hand upstairs.
Well, they want more out of Frank Martin. When he moves his hands, he's done well, the jab. And here's that, a beautiful straight left hand by Martin.
But again, Harutyunyan, he came to fight.
Couple of rights from Harutyunyan that were, for the most part, blocked. Sharp jab gets through from Martin upstairs.
My body feels better because I got the rest. And he said, I think it's going to help me. And he didn't come in like a rusty fighter.
And now Martin beginning to turn Harutyunyan. Martin just misses with the counter left hand.
We saw on our Showtime Boxing International, Sam Solomon upset an American right at the top in the 120-pound division, right?
Not what it's used to being for Frank Martin. 30 seconds left here in the fifth. Meanwhile, Harutyunyan continues to march forward. Has been hit with counter shots, though. Hoping to see the action ramp up here as we head to round 6.
Now, if we're seeing an off day from Martin, which it kind of seems like that,
could be.
It is time for Harutyunyan to step it up again. Martin keeps eating that overhand right. He steps back.
3-punch combination culminating with a left hook to the liver by Harutyunyan, but Martin just throws him, and Martin now goes on the offensive, delivering the onslaught, the punishing, thudding blows, and Frank Martin sitting down on these punches.
But he's facing a much bigger onslaught here.
By far the best round of the fight for Frank the Ghost Martin. Let's bring in our unofficial scorer, Steve Farhood.
Did that 6th round change his fight so dramatically for Harutyunyan that he's not going to be able to do what he needs to do. Not jabs, and that was 63% of your power punches, which is spectacular.
Yeah, and Steve Farhood talked about the rounds that were really close, and that was because
concentrating on throwing it.
It doesn't seem like he is.
Yeah.
There's a left and beautiful right hook to the body by Harutyunyan.
The body work of Frank Martin, and it's been terrific. But we're going to see Harutyunyan, after he lands a good jab, ripping that shot to the body. And they need that from him, and there he does it. And when he does it, he's terrifically effective. Martin's right hook is a really good weapon for him. And there is just a short one, and then the beautiful straight left hand.
Harutyunyan has that knockdown of right hand blocked by Martin. Coming up on the final minute of the 8th, there's a right uppercut in the inside. Good defense from Harutyunyan, and he going to the jab. Remember, he was in trouble there in the 6th. Goes to the body with the right hand. Double jab from Martin. Adjustments that you would like to see Martin make here in the latter stages of the fight, Abner.
Walk him down and just let those punches go when he did it in the 6th round. But
good combination from Harutyunyan.
Harutyunyan is just doing a very nice job of
utilizing his footwork as well. He's the one creating angles. He's the one avoiding.
Yes.
Sharp, hard right hand by Harutyunyan to the face of Martin.
You kind of feel like there could be a Martin eruption again at any time with the power, and that's what he kind of needs to have. So an important fact, oh my, whoa, he picked it up.
Boy, did he ever pick it up and putting it down.
Clashes of heads, most of them has turned out to do more damage to Harutyunyan.
Harutyunyan utilizing that footwork. Gets his head popped back with that stiff jab from Martin, but he's still allowing Harutyunyan to utilize his footwork.
Unofficial, we don't know how the judges are seeing it.
Nice right hand to the body by Harutyunyan, but here comes Frank Martin now trying to sit down on his punches, showcase the hand speed. Martin, 30 seconds now left in the 10th. Battle of undefeated fighters. Harutyunyan, though, wearing some damage on his face. That left hand backs him up. The blazing hand speed of Frank Martin on display to close out round 9. Or make that 10. Sorry.
More conviction with his punches. So we'll see. I mean, Harutyunyan is still landing a few shots, but they're shown by Harutyunyan.
Yeah, much more closer round than the last one, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And there's a couple of right hands from Harutyunyan, avoids. But when he lends that jab, it's effective. But there's an effective combination by Harutyunyan. Both looking to move one step closer to the big money fights in a division that's filled with them. There's a nice lead right hook upstairs for Martin. Landed the same amount of punches here, although Frank Martin trying to open up a lead at the end of round 11. Has Harutyunyan off balance. High drama coming up in the 12th.
Where he almost went down. Martin landing a nice left hand and a right. Well, now we're going to see him getting there with a beautiful left hand and a right hook that was a real punch, and it knocked him off balance. And had his glove touched the mat, it would have been a knockdown. But Harutyunyan
going backwards, Harutyunyan is dangerous because Martin is stepping into some punches.
Left hand to the body by Martin.
And Harutyunyan, again, he has a response.
Three-punch combination by Harutyunyan. Harutyunyan, smart strategy here in the 12th.
Yeah, and even the last round, I thought it was a close round, but...
That eye now bothering him after that punch. Frank Martin, a minute and a half left in the fight between these two undefeated 135-pounders. Martin coming forward, going to the body. Another left hand to the body. Martin getting the best of this round. It's all Frank the Ghost Martin. Under a minute left in the fight, and Harutyunyan forced to take a knee, goes down officially for the first time in his career. Pivotal knockdown here in the 12th.
Look at me. Hey, you okay? Come to me. Gotta watch yourself, protect yourself here.
To make Artem Harutyunyan take that knee. Martin had been dominating the round at that point, and really Harutyunyan had some difficult moments. And it's interesting, when he took the knee, it wasn't like there were tons of punches being landed, but the wheels were in motion.
Trying to thwart the momentum.
Yeah.
It's definitely the eye. I think it was the eye that was bothering him. He couldn't see. And again, a smart move from Harutyunyan, who took the knee. Again, like Al mentioned, it wasn't like, he was being attacked really bad by Frank Martin. But again, he was in trouble, and he knew when to take the knee.
He took the knee, but he did not bend the knee.
Well put.
Here tonight. How will the judges seated at ringside score this fight? They both go the 12-round distance for the second time in their career. Someone's own.
All three in favor of the winner. He is now undefeated. He is now the winner of the WBC Lightweight World Title Eliminator, Frank the Ghost